Stocking introduced Polyester and Polyurethane, the Angel Sisters' younger twin cousins that marked a new age of heaven. Now what I have to say here will most likely ruffle some feathers, especially those married to their headcanons, but please hear me out. The Angel brothers may speak in modern lingo, which by the way, it's not Generation Z or Generation Alpha or internet speak. It's African American vernacular English they are speaking in. That's AAVE, and they're actually using it right. So despite how these new gen angels talk, they were clearly raised with old head traditionalist values of heaven's standards, which is why I think they're pretty much conservative traditionalists and prudes. Now, to understand the twin angels, we must first understand their father, Rami, who most likely instilled his values of heaven into his sons. We don't know about any mother, so I guess she's just out for a smoke. The Secretary of Heaven, Rami, wore a facade of a loving family member until his plan of usurping the throne from his brother with his children was in action. Man, if I had a nickel. Heaven is aware of the king and queen's excessive swinging, so Panty and Stocking being fallen angels seems to be the least bad thing Heaven has harbored. Rami's coup is to reel back all the gods' depravity and preserve Heaven's traditions, and because he thinks so highly of heavenly order, Rami crushed the rest of the gods into a weapon that would have eliminated Earth and Hell. So I think it's safe to say that the Bulge brothers were raised to uphold and strongly value Heaven's traditions despite the rest of the gods being as nonchalant as Panty and Stocking. They're the first characters we meet that aren't directly named after underwear, but the material used in making it. They value the deeper meaning, building blocks, and traditions of heaven and not just glorifying its surface level of being provocative. The brothers' debut episode perfectly shows their proficiency in ghost hunting and smug faces gleaming with delight, putting old biddies to shame. Their weapons and technology are far more advanced than Panty and Stocking's are. Polyester has the coolest weapon, hands down, a multi-shooter gun for eliminating multiple targets at once or sending 5 shots for a powerful blow. Meanwhile, Polyester is wearing a glorified ice skate upside down. It was kinda underwhelming to see it at first, especially compared to his brother's more efficient and cooler weapon, but seeing it in action during the finale had me changing my tone. The blade isn't just for close combat, you can also send slashes through the air, making Polyurethane a close to mid-range fighter. I think that's pretty cool. Not only are they well trained and equipped to deal with ghosts, but they also uphold the traditional duties of an angel, such as serenading a soul as it ascends into heaven, which their older cousins tease them for. Of course, family gonna do that. The brothers are aware that some traditions can be embarrassing, but also recognize that it's their sworn duty to uphold as angels should. Polyester says so himself that not all traditions are bad, meaning that there are some that he enjoys to uphold, which leads us to their transformation. I know everyone was greatly disappointed that we only got to see their detailed appearance in summoning their weapons once. Trust me, so was I. But taking a step back for a closer look at their transformation, they don't stay in their battle outfits like the Angel and Demon Sisters do. They can do the whole stripper routine to summon their weapons, but they can also just summon them normally, like the others can as well. I think it was a deliberate choice to have the boys' stripper sequence only happen once, compared to another new character, Gunsmith Bitch. We know that she can switch between personas with ease, but she had her transformation sequence at least twice this season, and she was also a new side character. The boy stripping down is common for heavenly angels to summon their weapons, but not always mandatory, hence why I believe we only see their sequence once. And I also don't think it's a matter of budget and animation, that's why they make it as detailed as possible so they can reuse that shit. If you've ever seen a magical girl show where they have this crazy amount of detail and light effects and FX effects for a transformation sequence, they're gonna reuse that shit multiple times and get as much leverage out there. It makes it easier on the animators. So there's no way they're gonna only just use it once for no reason. Their stripper sequence, just like in the intro of the show, they are perfectly symmetrical and orderly. Looking back at the intro, they're not even in their battle outfits, they're in their regular outfits. The girls are wearing their outfits and being very sultry, not shying away from teasing the goods. Panty, Stocking, Scanty, and Knee Socks all take their time putting on a performance during their transformation. Meanwhile, the Poly Bros don't even have a stripper pole in theirs. I think the brothers see the sequence more so as a means to an end, while the girls use it to also show off, as they should. These guys also do not care about humans and hate demons. Polyurethane especially. He had the perfect opportunity to learn Stocking's weaknesses, but prejudice against demons kept him shutting them down. The brothers bonding with Geek Boy Garter and Chuck in hindsight of the finale, where they didn't even acknowledge them, cannot be ignored. To not even pretend to recognize them in the final battle, as if it didn't even matter. What happened to all this bestie talk, huh? I guess they put setting boundaries very seriously, because they put the work of heaven above everything else when they're on the clock. Despite expressing how they feel lonely all the time and that they don't get to spend much time with their busy father, they would never turn their backs against heaven to slum it with some humans. Which is a shame because they broke bread together and seemed to have enjoyed it. But I guess it doesn't matter when they're off the clock. Seriously, I hated anytime the brothers showed up just for them to vanish because, oh, would you look at that, we're off the clock, bye chat. This shit was not funny, nor was it cute, it was just irritating. They can't even be bothered to defend against a ghost while off duty. Like, come on! Now, a work-life balance is important, especially to this new generation. But my goodness, these boys need to get their priorities straight. Their time on Earth was nothing more but to spy on the Angel Sisters and how disgraceful they are. And seeing how fast Polyurethane threw out Garter's offerings, I'm willing to bet that the brothers are not as freaky as their cousins. Because they're traditionalists and their reaction to the Angel Sisters' indulgent contraptions, I can't imagine them being out here for the streets, guys. Like, I'm sorry that so many of your headcanons got broken that day. Even I was kind of in shock. I was like, huh. But then again, that's fanon corrupting my idea of canon because we don't see them very often. There's so little of the Poly brothers in the show itself that the fanon makes up for the content that we actually want to see. And it has us forgetting that these boys are not for the streets. You want to get into their pants? You better put a ring on it first.
You gotta put a ring on it. Where's my ring?
I really enjoyed season 2 of Panty and Stocking and wish we had more time with Polyester and Polyurethane. I was so disappointed that Urethane didn't fight alongside Stocking. No dance off between them, Panty and Knee Socks. Sometimes I wondered what was even the point of having them in this new season at all, if they're just gonna flake so often. Here's to hoping that they chill out after a vacation with their father to actually stick around for meaningful character interactions. I'm so excited to see that! Season 3! Another 15 years, baby! But that's just my opinion because using fanon to fill the hole of canon had me mischaracterizing these boys badly. So let me know your thoughts down below. Like, subscribe, hype, it helps me out a lot. I appreciate it. That's all I have for you now. Okay, I love you. Bye!